Make sure we're unmuted.
Well, we are live now, so welcome.
Let's go.
All right. Well, hi, welcome. I'm Beer DJ, and joining me is Tiny Toxic Tofu, or just Tofu.
Hello. I am glad to be part of this amazing cast. We're going to be casting Division 7 games. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, and Tofu is helping me out. I mean, this is my first time doing this, and she's been very helpful so far, so I'm excited. The game seems exciting as well. Now, before the game starts, I had one question for Tofu, which, because I don't know her very well, and maybe the audience does, but I was wondering, does the name Tiny Toxic Tofu have anything to do at all with stinky tofu? And do you know what that is? Have you had it? Have you eaten it?
I haven't eaten it, no, and it has nothing to do with the name. But I think there is a stinky tofu in Heroes Lounge, I believe.
In Heroes Lounge? Oh, a person named Stinky Tofu.
There's another person called Stinky Tofu, I believe, in Div 7. Or Greasy Tofu. There's another tofu, an imposter, so we must not confuse ourselves.
Okay, very well. Well, I highly recommend if you ever, I don't know how traveling will work in the future, but if you ever travel to Taiwan or China, you should definitely try Stinky Tofu or wherever there is some. You will definitely smell it miles away. You will know.
Before I see it.
Yes, you will know. There is a stall somewhere nearby. You will definitely smell it. And I won't say you will love it, but the smell is not the same as the taste. The smell is not so attractive. The taste is great. I really liked it.
I will definitely give a try for it. But today we are actually going to be casting a Div 7 game. We're going to be casting Neptarmy versus the Breakfast Squad. Breakfast Squad was a team that we actually faced in Division 6 last season a lot. And I casted them several times as well. So it was really exciting that you decided to pick this cast between those two because, as always, I'm really delighted to be casting the Breakfast Squad. They have some fantastic usernames as well, so it's going to be an exciting series, I think.
Well, I'm excited to know what you have to say about them. You might have some insider info then. I did try to get a quick look at the teams just based on the statistics for this season, which isn't much, but it is something. And it seems that both teams tend to favor small maps that have a lot of team fights, and they pick compositions that favor a lot of team fights. So it should be an exciting match.
Should be, definitely. And both teams have already started some of the maps, as we can see. Dragonshire has been removed from the game so far, so has Infernal Shrines, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and the final ban is coming out to be Sky Temple. So we're just waiting for the map pick to be picked, and I will create the lobby.
Okay.
And invite everyone in. Just a slight reminder to everyone that this is Co-Caster Week. If this is something that some of the viewers might be interested in, if anyone is looking to pick up casting, either as main caster like Beer DJ here, or be a co-caster as in my position, it is definitely something that you should look into and sign up through Heroes Lounge. Sorry, small plug-in ad.
No, it's perfect. I love it. I was trying to plug in the band maps for the next screen, which I was trying to set up because, again, I'm kind of new to this, right? But I'll try to take a look at the map draft and see if I can update that information very quickly. This is all very new to me, but it's very exciting. I mean, I like this. I like the efficiency. This is very good. So you mentioned already that one team banned Infernal Shrines, and there was a ban on Tomb, then Sky Temple, and there was one map missing, if I understand correctly.
First map is Dragonshire that was removed.
Oh, Dragonshire that I missed earlier then. Okay, very well. Okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay, just give me a second.
No problem at all.
Does the order matter? Yes, sorry, go on.
The order. So the order does tend to sometimes matter. So in this case, it was Neptarmy that, which is the blue team in this case. Neptarmy are the ones who, let me see. They have first pick, so they're actually in second rotation. That means the Breakfast Squad, the red team, is the first one to ban. They ban Dragonshire.
Okay, yeah.
Followed by Infernal Shrines, blue team. There we go, like that.
Okay, sounds good. And I think the maps should be showing right now, the bans that came through. I
Good
hope
job.
the colors are correct. I am sad a little bit that the Breakfast Squad's name is not showing properly because of the size, and I don't know how to change that, but it's the Breakfast Squad. It's not just the squad, okay?
It's okay. In game, their name shows up fully and properly.
Okay,
You really
perfect.
challenged yourself today by actually using Soothslayer
Yes!
as your debut caster and debut streamer. Like this is just one of your first few streams, if I'm not mistaken. So this is really challenging, and you should be really proud of yourself for diving into the deep end.
I want to give a good time to the people watching. It's not just about me. I know this is in my head it is about me, but I know it isn't. It's about the teams playing and the people watching at home, and I want to give them a good show. So as any stream that I watch and enjoy, I want them to enjoy this one. So I have and again I will say it again. I didn't say it live, but I really appreciate the way that the Heroes Lounge has set up this event, Casters Lounge. It's really good. It helped me a lot. I would probably not be doing this stream if they didn't follow up with me and checked in and poked me about. Hey, you should. How are you doing? Do you need any help? So that was really helpful. I appreciate
believe it
it
was
all.
Aviator. I will poke him and give him a thumbs up after this.
Yeah, just tickle him, make him smile. It's give back something. And okay, it seems the first map has not been chosen yet, has it? I don't think it has.
Yet, no.
Okay,
there must be some heavy discussion at the moment. Nico also has pointed out that 2 members of the Breakfast Squad actually used to play for Neptarmy last season. So this is a very special match tonight.
Oh, personal drama. Exciting. As I was mentioning, I tried to get some statistics on this season alone from these teams, and this is my interpretation, but it does feel that they like teamfight heavy compositions and teamfight heavy maps. Now, from the picks that they had so far in the season, and there's not a lot of statistic information to make a conclusion, but it seems to me that both teams really like playing Hanzo and Blaze. So I expect perhaps those to be heavily picked. And it seems that the Breakfast Club really likes playing Stukov, and Neptarmy tends to favor Anduin. I mean, that's just a premature conclusion that I took from the statistics I watched, but let's see if it turns to be true. Any of it? Predictions? Anyone?
If there's anyone in the chat that wants to make prediction, you might as well go ahead, as I've posted the lobby link in the chat. You are automatically joined, which is very, very handy. I just need to make sure that the teams are on the right side of everyone. So already most players are all over the place. You love to see it. And no one has portrait synergy. Why do no one has portrait synergy?
That's a good lesson to learn. It's true. I'm trying. We did that with our team as well. It's very important. I agree. Let me take a look. Oh, they definitely don't have any synergy there. But you said you played against the Breakfast Squad. Any insight you have on them? Anything juicy? Anything you expect?
I mean, what was it? We were playing them when the Anduin Stukov meta was just absurd. So it was always first pick, first ban, Anduin and Stukov. And as a team that, would prioritize those picks, it was just kind of like whoever got the first ban and first pick would pick and prioritize the other one. So I'm not surprised about the Stukov thing that you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes complete sense, as I am going to place captains on the correct people.
Very well. And I will quickly update the map because it has been chosen. It is Volskaya Foundry. That's the map that will be played. And I cannot multitask, so bear with me, gang.
Is this the squad? Who is squad? I will ask again if I'm cap.
Oh, that's not correct. Okay, that's definitely not correct. Okay. So it was Sorry, who picked the map? It was Volskaya, right. So it was the Breakfast Club who picked Volskaya.
Yes, Breakfast Squad picked the map. So we're going to be taken to the first map, Volskaya Foundry. And Team 1, Neptarmy, are the ones who have first pick.
Okay.
So I'm just confirming again who's not correct, because people are saying that they're not captaining.
Well, and the information is, if the information on screen for you right now is not showing correctly, it's because I don't know how to configure Soothsayer correctly. But anyway, Volsky Foundry has been chosen.
Yeah, no, everything looks good. It says that the pick was Breakfast Squad and Volkswagen. Your overlays look perfect.
Okay, great. I thought I accidentally picked a winner already. Predictions being thrown in. Um, all right, so it is exciting. It is going to be a kind of team fight heavy map in a way, right? You kind of it tends to soak up a lot of your time to stand on that point to get the protectors. So it encourages team fights. It is a fairly small map, and I mean, I feel good about myself. My predictions, or at least in my head, I think my prediction was a bit right.
All right. And we're going to go into game number 1. We're going to go into draft. I'm going to sneakily put in their draft overlay as we're going to go to Volskaya Industries.
Oh, I love the accent there. Perfect. Okay.
Right.
Any specific bans you expect at this stage? I mean, there were some nerfs coming through, right? There were some changes to a lot of heroes, some buffs. Anything you expect here?
Well, in my opinion, Johanna is completely and utterly busted in all levels of play, low and high. So I do expect that Johanna not to be banned by the blue team, but actually banned out by the red team here. So the blue team can bully them into leaving it open. Rhaegar did get nerfed, but I still believe he is quite strong. You might not necessarily have him as first ban, but definitely one of the earlier picks if you are looking to opt for him. But still, Stukov very strong in the meta, like you mentioned earlier. So I also expect a ban or a prioritization on that Russian dude as well.
Okay, very well. I love it. I do agree that Rhaegar was. I'm not sure if he was nerfed in one of his talent paths for sure. I just think it was a good change to open up some perhaps different builds, as it was pretty much focused on the totem build. He's definitely strong. He still has cleanse, which he did not have by default before the rework, so to speak. And there comes the Johanna ban that you predicted.
The Dahaka being removed as well, very strong global. His tongue action in the last few seasons has been beyond measure, basically. He is very, very strong with his level 7 talent. And even though there's not a whole lot of bushes in Volsky, he still is a very strong hero. So I absolutely respect this ban that's come out from Neptarmy.
Oh, and there comes the Stukov ban. Okay. I was gonna ask you a little bit about the Dahaka. I do feel there are not a lot of bushes, but your points are well made, and I'm gonna let that tiny innuendo slip because I don't know you very well, but I definitely heard it.
No worries about that. Ranged assassin. There we go. I was thinking and typing at the same time, and it is not something I'm very good at. There is a rumor that spreads that women are good at multitasking. It is complete BS, as we demonstrated there. We do have Garrosh being banned out, a bit of tank choking coming out here from the red team. What do you think about the Garrosh ban?
Well, again, this is there's a very big open area to team fight in, so Garrosh has a lot of potential to disrupt the team fights there. And I think they just probably don't want to have a very strong front line. So I'm not sure what they want to do about that. So they're just trying to get rid of strong engages there. Anything specific you would think would come from that?
No, I wouldn't know anything specific to that. We do see Leo being picked up. I love the Blaze pick, by the way. This is something that we also in my own team do pick up Blaze early, and you can switch it around to main tank and solo lane.
Interesting.
Oh.
Okay, that's a lot of CC already. And now maybe you can see why there was such a heavy focus on getting rid of strong front lines like Garrosh and Johanna, because maybe they scouted them and know they like a lot of heavy CC. And also, as I mentioned earlier, I feel like both teams really prioritize both Hanzo and Blaze, and we see both heroes in the first rotation right here.
Ooh, Zeratul being removed from the game. We do love to see some fantastic avoid prison action, but we're not going to see any today. But you're right about the Blaze, Murden, and Deckard. Like, if you're asking for a CC chain, this is the right corner you came for. As we see Jaina being removed from the game here. Hanzo, really good poke, really good range. Leo scales really well, especially with Silence and Tumba level 20. So Volsky Foundry is a map for scaling, and I really like that they are opting to pick that with a Mal'Ganis and Malfurion being sniped up here.
Okay, they also want to get some CC there. And Lost Vikings. And Medivh.
And
Okay.
Medivh, what?
I know what this is. I have suffered it by myself. This is horrible. I hate this. I know my teammates, if they're watching this, they're laughing because we got destroyed by this. We did not expect it. We did not know what's going on. And the plan is, I will tell you the plan. The plan is Medivh opens the portals with the crows, and then Deckard activates his level 13 talent to give more damage to the Vikings. They go in, they destroy, one-shot, whatever that comes their way. It's a cheese comp. I love it. I love watching this. I want to see how this pans out.
This seems very absurd to me, and I'm really excited to see how this turns out. In the meantime, the last pick has been Alarak, which I absolutely love in this map, especially with E-build and all the infinite stacking that he can do. So I wonder if that's the build that Buster is going to up for, and if so, how is he going to manage? He can complete his quest pretty quickly against the Vikings as well, the level 1 E-quest, so it could be worth.
Right, and it also gives him an easy way to get stacks from the Vikings, right? They're fairly easy to kill, so it's sort of a good last pick, let's say. I would not be surprised if Vikings actually lane all 3 Vikings in one lane. I've seen that before as well.
Yes.
I'm not sure it will happen, but I would not be surprised. I'm not actually quite sure how these lanes are going to be here, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
I do have a delay of 20 seconds, but just a reminder to go into game overlay.
Oh, yes, it is done.
As we're going to go into game number 1. Again, this is first time cast. Just a reminder, Control Z to zoom out slightly. And if anyone in the chat is looking to pick up co-casting, this is how you do it. Control Z to zoom out slightly and Control 1 just to put up the spells as we are going to introduce the first 2 teams. Let's go.
Oh, right. Oh, well, okay, you do the Russian bit.
Udar Человек is playing the Lost Vikings. We have Steppenwolf playing Blaze. We have Kelemarda playing Muradin. Jaqen Hagir playing Deckard. And I don't know, Rick playing Medivh for the blue team, Neptarmy.
Very well. And on the other side, we have LGM on Mal'Ganis, Love Tiger on Leoric, Omen Samuel on Hanzo, Buster on Alarak, and Have on Malfurion. And they have a little bit of kerfuffle in the middle. There's some skills being exchanged back and forth, but we don't really expect much happening here. Just some wave clear, some harass.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Alarak has opted for overwhelming power instead of for that big E-quest, especially since you can complete it very quickly with the Vikings. But they decided not to do that. I really like the fact that they placed the Vikings bot and have Blade top. He is in a spot of trouble here. Nice interruption, nice route, nice CC chain, and
I
missed
is all
very
that action. I do apologize. I was trying to mess around with the controls here, but yes, I was trying to show the talents. That was a kill there. Thank you for casting it. I do apologize it wasn't being shown.
No worries. Absolutely no worries. If you want to show the talents, it's Control 1.
Yes,
both at the same time.
I have them on screen so you can take a quick look. All of this out, new habits, Third Wind, Sapphire, Portal Mastery, which should be pretty much the default expected talent, right? And while I still go over that, we see both teams going for the turret camp. A little bit faster here on the red side, but both teams will get it. And
both teams grabbing the camps, pretty standard play. As soon as they come up, try and grab them as quickly as possible. Have it with Malfurion on the bot side, healing up Leo as quickly as possible. And Medivh is working on getting his stacks at the moment. His baseline stacks, 9 out of 40. It's going to be a long time before the bird completes it, but could have it completed by the first objective.
Right, and he has to have he has to be very careful to try to get those stacks against something like Alarak and Mal'Ganis. There's a lot of CC on both teams, so again, I'm really excited to see once the fights start to develop and there is some action. Now we see the blue team starting the camp earlier here, perhaps a bit too early. Let's see if they delay after they capture it. And there's an attempt for a gank, and can Medivh get out? Oh, and he barely gets out. No!
But Decker decides that it's so unfair that they don't get any stacks. Let me help my poor Alarak friend here out, and goes through a teleport and gives them a Q stack there. Again, Alarak committing for a full Q build here, which is really exciting. It is something that I play personally only in solo Q Storm League. Where I feel like it gets a lot of value. But we'll see if the teams manage to capitalize on it. It means that he's looking for scaling, he's looking for sadism, and he can't afford to die.
What a sadistic bugger. And anyway, both teams did cap their camp, and it seems that the red team might have an advantage here if they quickly clear this camp and then go for the objective. But there is a little bit of a fight, but Sleep just disengages fairly easily, and he should be safe. Unless...
It looks scary there for a second, but he does get out pretty quickly. I love the fact that they picked Mal'Ganis. You never get to see Mal'Ganis action here, but I'm so happy that the sleepy tank is going to get some fun gameplay today as he steps up on the point, and the channel is going to go over to the Breakfast Squad.
So we see a quick timing on that camp did give an advantage to the red team as they capped it later and cleared the opponent's camp very quickly. So they get an early lead on this camp. They take control even though the opponent's team got some more percentage. And there's an engage and they're fighting and the CC is coming through.
Oh, really nice protect here from Medivh onto the Murden to keep him alive, but the turrets have been placed down, both blue and red, battling it through. Fantastic double! Oh! And a secured kill. Let's go.
Oh, Vikings Portal, that's showing up what they can do with that talent, and oh, the burst is... I'm gonna love this. This is just such a cheesy comp. I just love to watch it, not against me. There's another engagement while Mal'Ganis. He looks like he should be able to get out fairly easily, but they're still fighting, and just a disengage.
Yeah, this is the issue that they focused on. Alarak did die and lost a lot of sadism. It's going to take a while to get it back, but the first trig is going to go over to the blue team. Neptarmy, Murden is jumping into it right now, rotating mid or top side, which is the usual old classical play. Vikings are in the bot side, soaking and grabbing all the XP they can.
Yeah, and it used to be very common to just take that fountain and really get out, but in this case they will try to get more. There is a fight, there is a route, but it doesn't seem like there is just enough follow-up yet. They took down the wall. What will they do from here on out?
Yeah, Murden is still alone in that trig. They have the front wall on the top side down, but you know, back in the days when the forts were you were able to get the fountains without taking down the forts. What the focus was to actually snipe the top well here, but now you can't really do that anymore. Really nice portal there by Medivh, but Murden decided to jump out anyway. He don't need no portal.
Now, it was very interesting to me that they decided not to have a gunner in that protector. I don't usually see that. Is there any particular reason you would think?
Because the trig is shit. You might as well have no one in it. It's a really, really weak objective early, and not committing to it is a good and decent shout. You actually see high-level players doing that they just give up the objective because they feel like it's too weak until much later in the game.
Right, and there might be an engage on Medivh. He did his silence, but there is a good disengage. Oh! The bunker
really
is down.
Nice Alarak ultimate. Bunker being used into the backline. Fantastic sleep by Decker, securing the kill on Alarak. Oh my god, the haymaker putting Mal'Ganis into the backline and to secure the kill, with Medivh actually completing the quest in the meantime. Let's go.
Oh, and that was a really nice engage there. They killed Alarak first, denying him maintaining any sort of stacks, and then they kill Mal'Ganis with a haymaker. Yeah, and they also were able to steal the turret camp before that. They seem like they're getting an early lead here. Well, they're taking most of the map for themselves now. How aggressive can they keep playing now? And what can the red team do to respond?
Oh, this cheese is just so interesting. I've never seen this cheese before, and I've been playing this game for a very, very long time. So maybe I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever actually seen it being executed so well. But again, this map is all about compacts, is all about scaling. So we'll see how the red team responds and adjusts to this cheesy strat as we see an engage here onto the Viking, onto the top side. Little Chub. Olaf is just not going to survive that damage as they secure a kill.
Well, they're just there to give some stacks to Alarak, right? They can't just cheese all the time. They need to give something else to the other team. And this is a small way that they can get an advantage, is getting that Alarak stacked. It looks like Mal'Ganis is going for an engage, and the sleep is coming through, but it is cancelled. There's a root. Oh.
Root and a pull by Alarak. Really nice Alarak ultimate there to dodge the CC. But a haymaker into the line.
Alarak
Buska
again.
has
He doesn't
found himself in the back line. Oh no.
And they just keep destroying the team. They're taking all the CC. They're destroying everything in the backline. And that combo seems to be working. And now it's actually really going to take off at level 13.
Really aggressive engage here by the blue team, but Mal'Ganis does use his ultimate to get away. This fort is bye-bye because the blue team will be able to secure it as 3 kills are in their favor. 7 versus 1 kill so far in this game. Blue team absolutely dominating so far, but again, Volskaya Foundry is all about scaling, so the red team just needs to sit back, readjust their game plan, and try and get into that late game.
Oh, there must be a strong re-engage here. Oh, but the ult is not good enough. It looks like they're getting away, and they should be safe now. I don't think they have any chase potential anymore.
Murden does manage to get away. It was really a nice engage there, but Alarak's counter-strike did not get procced. Minions do not count, by the way, ladies and gents. It needs to be hero damage, as we see a possible engage here coming from the blue team. Really nice pull, really nice science, really nice route. Deckard, ultimate being interrupted by Mal'Ganis. Absolute smurf play, but the protected ult setup on the Vikings absolutely obliterates Alarak once more.
And you see they're always focusing that Alarak. They don't want to give him any stacks. And it seems to be working well for them. Oh, there's a big stun, but there is no follow-up really over there. And you see that the cheese comp from level 13 is when it really shines. It's with the Deckard's Ancient Blessing. It gives even more burst. And they seem like they're going to get another kill, and he cannot get away.
Jesus, this blue team, the strat that they have is absolutely out of this world, and they're smurfing it. They're doing it really well by the book. The strat works every single time. It's almost like they're bullying Alarak so much that he's going to have to save his counter-strike for the Vikings.
Yeah,
which is a very terrifying position to be in.
Yeah, and that Haymaker might have been a very good choice if he just waits for Alarak ult to be down and they just focus him down afterwards. And there seems to be a small fight on the bottom. Oh, well, that was aggressive, but I don't think they can really follow up for a kill here.
Oh,
yeah, but they burned the bunker.
Oh, another Viking engage.
Oh, here comes... Oh, oh, that's just so... Oh, it's so disgusting. Tofu, this is so disgusting. It's worse than the smell of stinky tofu, I gotta tell you. But I love to see it. I love to watch it. In the meantime...
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, in the meantime, the Protector was taken, and it is a one-man Muradin inside. Just a dwarf, you know, with his machines.
Yeah, just to explain to the chat, if people are confused what this cheesy strat is, it's the level 7 talent on Medivh, where the shield, that protecting shield that he gives, they actually does bonus damage to the enemies around it. But if you put it on multiple heroes, like multiple Vikings, it does bonus damage per Viking. So it's an absurd amount of damage, as you see. A fantastic engage here. The Vikings popping extremely low. Fleet being used to try and save the Vikings, but the Vikings' ultimate actually brings them back to life.
Oh, and the Vikings try to go in, but there is a good route.
Really good route indeed. Fantastic engage. Polymorph being used on LGM. He pops his ultimate to try and stay alive as Murden gets out of the Triglock.
Here comes will the Haymaker come through?
Ooh, big Hanzo arrow here onto the bunker. Really nice play there. LGM and Hanzo actually get away with a margin of their HP still intact. Really well disengaged by the red team, as they still don't have level 16.
Oh my god, that is disgusting. The fact that they can do that behind the wall and not care about losing 2 Vikings, and it's just so disgusting, that the burst that it can do. And just a quick, I'm just discussing about this comp. I just want to say it's so many things working together there. It's Medivh's level 4 talent that gives a Raven on every auto attack. Oh my god, and they got another kill. It is the
Yeah, you're
Decker's
right.
Ancient Blessings in level 13, and also Medivh's 13, as you mentioned, for AoE damage with the level 7 Arcane Explosion. It's just disgusting, but it's such a cheesy comp. I mean, how can you even counter it? Because the portals are so quick. If your team has good coordination, you can execute it so well, and they are doing it now. Now, the red team is trying to respond to it, but they just can't seem to be able to deny those portals and punish them effectively.
Yeah, even though they have Malfurion Root and Mal'Ganis Sleep, which is a very toxic CC chain, with Alarak and Hanzo, they don't have exactly the Omega Giga Burst that they're expecting straight after the Protect is placed there. But they can still counter it. Again, Alarak can build a sadism very quickly with the Vikings, so not all is lost. But as once a very great Irishman said, Medivh is cheat, so he should be removed from the game.
Definitely should be. But well, we'll see next time how it happens. Just to quickly take a look, the Vikings definitely are the highest in hero damage, followed by Medivh, actually. Probably with those burst shields that are coming from the Vikings themselves. Now, it seems that the teams are in a bit of a lull. They're kind of trying to reposition, gain some map control, playing it passively, waiting for the next objective, gather the items, just biding their time. Now, I do believe the red team needs to try to find a pick, but it is so hard with Medivh on the other side, giving them vision and the shields. It's just, they really need to be a little bit lucky there. Blue team is really doing well.
It's really hard with Medivh to actually look for an engage. So I feel the red team's pain. It feels like, oh, we need to look for an engage before the blue team gets level 20. But how do you do it when there's a bird constantly flying over your head and given vision? Murden jumps in. The Vikings try to get onto the Alarak, and they actually do so much work. Alarak pops his ultimate. Hands are being used. Leo and Tomb onto the Vikings to desperately try and kill those three horrible nuisances. But it is Alarak who falls.
Oh, Play Again is coming through. They still have a team fight. They're still going.
I'm pretty sure there was a backline there 3 seconds ago before the Vikings went through that portal. As the rest of the blue team secure a kill on Leo, Mal'Ganis is next on the list, but he does pop his ultimate in attempt to save himself. But this is top keep down for sure.
Yes, it might actually be Core. I mean, they're definitely going to do some damage here on Core. I'm not sure if they can finish, but those timers, 30 seconds, that's quite a lot of time that they can have. They can finish the game here.
Indeed, they could if they wanted to, possibly, but they decide to open up the map instead, make the safer call and get mid-keep, which is a very safe and proper call. I do like it because the death timers are coming up, Alarak is already back up, and Malf and Hanzo will be joining in 10 seconds. So the safe call isn't so bad, and they need to be careful here. Alarak might use telekinesis. Oof.
Oh no. Oh no.
Really nice polymorph there to secure the last kill. Deckard's sleep being used to try and secure the kill, but it was in vain because Alarak was already dead.
Oh yes, and oh my God, there's a good entomb. It might lead to a kill, but the portal. Oh, it almost got them, but not quite enough. I mean, they're fighting for scraps. They need to get something, right? So they have to start a fight here. They need to get as much as they can, and they're doing their best, but it's just not enough.
Murden playing ping pong there, jumping in and resetting his jump and jumping right back out. Looking for a haymaker value here, getting Mal'Ganis out. Stunning the Leo in the backline. Really nice cleanse by Malfurion, but it isn't enough to keep him alive as they secure another kill. The blue team is just playing with their food at this stage. They could do anything they want. They could try to end, they could get objective, but they're just teasing the red team at this stage.
Yes, they're just staggering the deaths. I mean, they could just send a single Viking to capture the Protector. They don't even care. There's another fight. There could be a slight kill. There might be a comeback coming through. At least they're defending well enough, and I think they have to back off at this point. They just don't have enough healing to keep fighting here. So there is a reset. The game keeps going. Red team, well done. They are doing as much as they can to stay in the game here. And I do feel they were a little bit caught off guard. They definitely did not expect this. And I love to see how Medivh is constantly putting a proxy portal all the time on the floor, cancelling, putting another one. And we have another engage and another burst.
And another dead Breakfast Squad member as Alrak and Malfurion are deleted from this game. The camp is already sieging onto the core, a turret already focusing on it, and the core is down to 50%. I think no matter what the red team does here, that core is going to fall down against their will as
Oh,
GG is being called.
well played. That was a good game. And that was fun. That's what I wanted. I want a lot of action, and they came through. They showed what they got to show.
Right.
Okay.
Damage stats. Holy cows. The Lost Vikings, top siege, top kills, top hero damage, top healing, and top oh Jesus, they were just top of the stats and everything. The Vikings did a lot of work, obviously assisted by the rest of the blue team, but whatever this Giga 5-head strat they had, they pulled it off in like just very, very well. I'm very surprised. I thought this was just a cheese that, can only work in quick match, but as we can see, it can even work in a coordinated team.
Well, cheese works for everyone, yeah, unless you're lactose intolerant. And it seems that perhaps the red team was a little bit because they couldn't quite cope with it. Okay, so we'll see what the next. Perhaps there was a short break, and we'll see what the next map will be in a bit. Now I will try to update the information, and I'll let Tofu entertain you for a moment.
Well, if there's anything I was born to do, it was to entertain. As we are waiting for first pick or map pick from the Breakfast Squad. The rules of Heroes Lounge, as per tradition, is that the losing team of the first game get to decide if they want first pick or map pick. Now, after the previous changes, or the previous patch that allowed Rhaegar and Stukov to be slightly nerfed, again, only Johanna at the moment being, a very, very OP hero. It allows for room for map picks. In the past or in the first few weeks of Heroes Lounge this season, it was so troublesome because you had to opt for first pick. You had to be forced to ban the Rhaegar and Johanna if you didn't have first pick. It was just disgusting. And finally, we actually get to see teams opting for map pick occasionally. But we shall wait, decide, and see what happens.
All right, and I do believe those changes were good because you want variety in game. You don't want every game to look the same. You don't want every banning phase to look the same. So it was definitely a healthy choice. No matter how people feel about the changes, it was a healthy choice for the purpose of entertainment and variety. It was definitely a good thing that it happened. But as you say, Johanna still seems like it's a very strong pick because of that damage increase on the level 1 talent on her blind. And, I guess the break will be here for a bit. I might take a quick bathroom break, if that's all right. Would you like to keep the gang entertained, or should I just put it on pause?
No worries. I will keep the chat entertained. You run ahead.
No okay. Worries. Well, I'll take a short break and enjoy your company with lovely Tofu. You're back.
I should probably also take a tactful water closet break when I do. Heike is asking, tell us some funny facts about the clans. Well, if you go onto the Heroes Lounge website and you go through the history of Special Theory of Clan Ability, you will see that at one point, Heike, we were in Division 1. That's how amazing we are. No fun in clowns, just hard work on clowning. If there's anything we're good at, it is clowning, as we proved in our series last night, as we threw games and we almost threw even more games yesterday. One of the comments earlier was we're asking, how do you even deal with that Vikings and Medivh comp? And honest to God, I don't fucking know, because I thought Alarak would be great with Counter-Strike, and yet he died and imploded every single time. The Vikings have Unstoppable, then they have Protect from Medivh, so they just don't ever die. I really have no idea how to deal with it. If anyone in the chat has the recipe, do please tell us of how to deal with it. My strat is to run away bravely and do something else on the map and stay the fuck away from them. That's my strat. I wonder if that's the actual way to do it. The Royal We. Aye, Jimmy. We were in Division 1. It says so on the Heroes Lounge profile. There was a time, a very, very long time ago. Junkrat mine Malf route in theory, says Valar. True, I do think that Junkrat mine would have definitely helped. It can be. It could have booped them away, but again, if the Vikings were playing well, they have that unstoppable, so they're all unstoppable for a moment. So technically, they can still counter. It's still just so disgusting to deal with.
All right, and I'm back at the right time then, I see. Yeah, it's just that I don't really think that the breakfast squad expected that, and they just
Mm,
couldn't adapt to it.
mm.
I'm sure that's not going to happen the second game, and I'm not even sure if the Neptarmy would want to cheese again in the same strat. It's probably a specific map that they want to do it on, and they know they can take a map away, and good on them.
Yeah. We do see that the breakfast squad is still taking 5 minute break. So I will tactfully also leave you now, Beer
Okay,
DJ, to cover for me while I take my water closet break. So
okay.
chat, enjoy the handsome face of Beer DJ.
Yeah, that does not have a face because I don't have a webcam, but it is fine. You'll just have to imagine what I look like. Please imagine me very professional with a tie, a suit, and no pants because that's how we live in these COVID times, right? That's how we go to work. Um, yeah, and these are the teams we have the Breakfast Squad and Neptarmy. I mean, to be fair, I was expecting action. We got some action. I was entertained. How do you feel? As I look a little bit to interact with the chat. As I am a poor man with only one monitor, I don't get to see what people write while I actually am in game. So let's just take a quick look. Oh, Aragon, I do apologize. He was asking me to get a monitor so I can acknowledge you. I have seen your message, sir. There's a lot of messages before that. I'm definitely not going to be able to read all of them right now. But yes, if you guys want to sponsor a monitor for me, go ahead. But for now, I'm just gonna be enjoying my cast, and I have to say, I really enjoy casting with someone else. I don't think I would be able to keep renting on my own all this time. And props to Heroes Lounge for bringing entertainment to people and for organizing all of this and setting up the Casters Week or Co-Casters Week to actually have people help, help to be initiated into this hobby or profession or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so let's just take a look. I do wonder, does anyone have any predictions for a second map? I do think both teams do tend to prefer team fights, and I was surprised a little bit that they banned Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines, because both of those maps, both teams seem to have picked previously in their previous matches. So I'm a little bit surprised that those maps were banned out. I'm not sure what they're looking to get here. If any of the teams would like to perhaps play a macro, I I do think I would expect Battlefield of Eternity here. Um, Maps I'm hoping for next, yes, definitely. I think Battlefield of Eternity, something we
Ooh,
might
yes,
see. Again, both teams really like team fights. It's if you want team fights, that's what you go for. And from the maps
I
that are
agree.
available, I mean, you have three quite large maps: Garden of Terror, Alterac Pass, Cursed Hollow, and it seems they don't really tend to favor those. So
Mm,
Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity, I actually think would be the following two maps that we will see in either order.
I completely agree. I do love BOE. It's one of the greatest maps for some fun drafts, some fun picks. It's one of the rare maps where you really do prioritize objective and picking heroes for the race of the objective. You don't like. I understand that sometimes maybe on Inferno, you might think about picking up something like Kerrigan, something that can do the objective, but it's never a priority. You never go onto Sky Temple and think, oh, let's pick this hero because they takes the temples really, really well. You just never
Mm.
think about that, right? But
Yeah.
on BOE, you do actually draft DPS for the race, which is really, really exciting. Other people in the chat are saying Towers of Doom. Absolutely love Towers of Doom. Towers of Comebacks. you can have some amazing comebacks as our team experienced in the past as well. So it's a really fun map as well.
Yeah, it could be very unexpected. Brings a lot of entertainment to the table, and who knows? Perhaps these teams just want to bring you entertainment today. They don't really care about winning. They just want to bring something out and cheese the other team to death. I do wonder what will come from them next. I have no idea, honestly. After they did that strat on the first map, I mean, that's usually something you say for the last map, right? But they just came out swinging. What else can they do?
Yeah, we have a decision made by the Breakfast Squad. They have opted for taking first pick. So we're just going to be waiting for Neptarmy to pick the map, and whatever map they will take us on. I wonder if they're going to prioritize a map where they can pick Medieval Vikings again. Maybe that's exactly why the Breakfast Squad couldn't decide on a map. It's because they're like, oh, what map can Medieval Vikings not work? But they feel like almost every map can work. There might be a respect ban coming out. Who is it going to be, on the Vikings or on the Medieval?
I mean, I think Medivh is an integral part of that strategy. But if it is something like Towers of Doom, honestly, both Medivh and Vikings are quite good, right? I would still think Medivh would be more of a priority, as he just is the glue that keeps it all together. And I'm not sure they would want to bring this a second time if it is predictable. I mean, as people were saying in chats, it's something like Junkrat would disrupt it a lot more than they would be able to counter it and interact. Okay, it is interesting. They choose Alterac Pass. This is a very big map. Still allows for a lot of team fights on that map around the objective. It still stalls for time there. There could be a lot of poke. Junkrat is very big here. Can just interrupt that capture point indefinitely, technically. And yeah, we will get into the lobby. And as I update quickly the maps.
Yeah, and I'm just making the lobby, sending the lobby link into Heroes Lounge. If anyone ever wanted to know what the secret was, you go into Heroes Lounge chat channel inside of Heroes of the Storm /lobby link, and that's how you post your lobby link. In case no one knew the secrets to that, decided to share it there. I'm going to arrange the teams because they are not sorted out, but hopefully it should be okay. Other than that,
Fun fact, when my team experienced this cheese comp that we had on the first map, it happened on Alterac Pass. So I
so
know
they liked it on this map.
I don't know if it's the best map for it, and it was the weirdest thing because they didn't really have very good wave clear, and I think it would not work if the team knows how to deal with it. And now that they've had one game against it, I really don't think it's coming up again because you can just play macro, you can just try to outpush the other team, and you just try to avoid fights, and you can focus on a lot of globals. It's a very wide map, but we will see how it goes, right? Who knows? We want a lot of entertainment, and if it has to be again a lot of backline destruction with Vikings, it will have to be.
It will have to be indeed. We will see if they pick up the Medieval Vikings, but I do expect either a Giga counterplay draft coming out here from the Breakfast Squad, or possibly a respect ban coming out. Maybe they'll bag on putting the respect ban out later than earlier, but it has to come out like you mentioned before. We're discussing it while you were away, and I really do not understand a counterplay to it. I've played a lot of comps in a lot of situations like that, but it feels like it'll be very, very difficult to counterplay, especially how well Neptarmy played it. They were very well done, very well patient with the stasis, very patient with the protects. They just weren't spamming the combo instantly. They were waiting for the enemy cooldowns and played it so well. They really should be proud of themselves.
Yeah, and again, I love me some good entertainment. That was lovely to watch. Discussing on the Breakfast Squad, I'm sure they had probably their tummy wasn't feeling so good the next day, or won't feel so good tomorrow. But that was some good cheese.
Good cheese indeed. Enough cheese to make a pizza. We have a few roster changes coming in here. Nico is going to step in, and I just want to confirm if the teams are all correct.
Yep, and we will probably start the match in a little bit. It seems like we're all set up, and the draft. Any expectations? Anyone seems anything? Does anyone want any to see anything specific here? A big map? Anything you're excited to see?
Well, Jimmy Turks in the chat has been professional and has actually scouted, according to the Heroes Profile Drafter, the Breakfast Squad should draft Rhaegar, Vala, Diablo, Artanis, and Tychus based on what they play and what they main. So we shall see how it goes as we see an amazing raid coming in. Heroes Lounge raiding with the Party 58. Thank
Oh my
you
god.
so much for raiding via DJ tonight as in his fantastic debut cast as we're going to go into game number 2.
I'm sure they smelled cheese and they came for it. They're not here for me. I know they knew this was an exciting match and they just wanted a piece of it. But thank you nonetheless. Thanks for coming. We hope to have a very exciting match for you coming next. Right now, setting up.
All right. Let me double check. There's a lot of chat going on. Our teams are all correct. So Neptarmy are ready, and yes, Neptarmy.
And you can see a lot of banter from both teams. They're
Yes,
friendly. They're enjoying
much.
it. They seem to like to chat quite a lot. So maybe they should be watching the stream. Actually, maybe some of them are. I believe I saw Salamarda in the stream for a bit then. So maybe he was trying to stream snipe, but the delay just doesn't allow them to get much out of it.
Yeah, just going to confirm that the Breakfast Squad is ready and we are ready to push to go. All right, we are starting game number 2. The first game we were on Volsky Industries and it went over to Neptarmy, and now we're going to go into game number 2 and we will see if the Breakfast Squad can redeem themselves.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They must feel motivated after that game. Certainly. Okay.
All right.
Let's see what the bans bring us.
Yeah, last game we got to see a Stukov ban, a Haka ban. So we're going to see maybe similar bans again. Johanna also removed early in the lobby. But the red team might prioritize Johanna this time. Again, the respect ban, Medivh Vikings, I'm bagging is going to come out here. As a fellow Heroes of the Storm player, I really don't know how to deal with it properly and perfectly every single time. And honestly, it's just so much stress to the brain. You might as well just remove it.
There is the Medivh ban. Yep, it's the glue that keeps it all together, and he's just an annoying hero to deal with, too much free vision, and they just don't want to deal with it. Now, it doesn't mean that the Neptarmy won't pick the Vikings to play it differently, but based on how they played it last time, I suspect they will not want to do something else with the Vikings. And there is a Stukov ban right away.
Dulkov is removed from the game. He is very strong at the moment, despite the fact that he's been nerfed patch over patch, or basically 2 patches in a row, we'll say. Still a very strong healer in the meta right now, though Rhaegar slightly higher win rate last time I checked Hero's profile. But we didn't get to see that Rhaegar ban in the last game as well. Maybe neither of these 2 teams really care about that doggo.
Yeah, perhaps after their nerfs, they don't feel like he brings as much to the table as he used to. And the Johanna ban standard, still one of the strongest heroes. It is surprising that it comes from the first pick side, so that telegraphs that they definitely don't want to pick her, and they're thinking of something else. And a quick note that the Breakfast Club does tend to pick Stukov first in some of their games previously in this season, so that is definitely some scout coming through. And Blaze, which is a contested pick for both teams, also gets a ban.
Yeah, the Neptarmy played fantastically well on Blaze. There were so many amazing double and triple stuns coming out. It really punishes any stacking that is done, even in a moment of panic. And the blue team were able to capitalize on it very well. But they themselves decide to remove it. They don't want to deal with a good Blaze. And it is Brightwing that is being picked up very bright and early here.
Yeah, that I like that. That's good, and also some focus on the global, and we do get to see Rhaegar being played. Now, I do wonder if he will get the usual totem build or something less else, as I feel like he does have some options open after those nerfs. It's not no longer the must take build, but it's still good for team fights. Leori coming through, very good wave clear already on those first two picks.
Leo and Rhaegar being sniped up. Rhaegar is so strong still, despite the fact that he has been nerfed. I feel like he is in a very good place. Again, maybe not always perma ban him in the first rotation, but definitely a good, confident early snipe pick. We do see Leo being picked up as well. He's fantastic at soaking lanes and grabbing that XP, while the enemy team has picked up May and Falstad.
Interesting. So they try to get almost all of the globals, but not quite all of them. They want to save their solo laner for later, but they already have two globals, and that allows them to control the map quite effectively to an extent, get an early XP lead, stall the objective. Now they don't really have any way to stall the objective at this stage, and Junkrat is still on the table, and it is a very strong pick to for perhaps more so for the Neptarmy to try to just annoy the other team and stall the objective for longer as they try to soak up lanes. Oh, a Cho'Gall ban.
It feels like Neptarmy pulls a lot of cheese. And one of the cheeses is a Cho'Gall pick, as they did pick Leo and they removed Malthal from the game. They were like, no, we ain't dealing with this BS. We could see a Stitches being picked up or a Garish, two tanks that are very infamous for cheese as well on Alterac Pass. But we do see the Beetle King and Uberak being sniped up in his beautiful, glorious pink skin, and Abathur himself also being locked in. Absolutely loving myself a good Abathur action, though I don't think Alterac Pass is his best map feature.
Yeah, I do. I did not notice that fact, so I really like you pointing out that they already picked Leoric and Malthael, so it was kind of telegraphed that they should get rid of Cho'Gall, and because the Breakfast Squad already had picked a healer, it would be unlikely that it would pick Oriel as a second healer, as that's usually what people get with Cho'Gall. But I do love to see Abathur on the other side to have a little bit of global soak to counteract those globals. Now, he won't really be able to push out, but he will be able to keep up with some of the XP. And there's a final Genji pick that's a very heavy dive composition with Abathur, Anubarak, Leoric, Rhaegar, Genji. Woo!
Yeah, I'm so surprised to see this Genji pick as the solo deeps coming out here from the blue team. This draft really does remind me of like when Genji and Hanzo were first released into Heroes of the Storm. The meta of like for so long it was just Genji hypercarry because Genji was absolutely broken for ages, and this is a pro level draft coming out from the blue team. But I don't know if they'll be able to pull it off as those pro players did back in the day, and we shall see, ladies and gents. We shall see.
Yeah, it seems like Neptarmy really favors trying to get kills on that backline, and the draft shows it. Now, on the other hand, the Breakfast Squad does pick a more macro-oriented draft, and we'll see how that turns out for them. There is some disengage in the form of Oriel and May, they and also a Gust from Falstad. So we'll see how this pans out. I'm excited. This looks very interesting, and I think the drafts are good on both sides.
All right, and I shall introduce the teams for game number 2, ladies and gents. The Breakfast Squad. We have LGM playing May, Omen Samuel playing Falstad, Love Tiger on the Urel, Buster playing Hanzo, and Have on the Brightwing.
Yes, and on the other side, Neptarmy, we have Jekenhar, I don't know, Rick, Udar Человек, Salamarda, and Neko on the other side.
Hey, well done. We see some Genji action here. Love Tiger doing a lot there with Urel. Nico with the Abathur hat in the middle, slapping the mop with Leoric left and right here. I really am interested to see how they're going to make Abathur work here, as we see pressurized glands coming out here, which is my favorite level 1 talent.
There is an attempt on a gank on Urel, but she's one of the safest heroes, so it will be a rough time killing her. But it's a good attempt nonetheless, try to chunk her. And we see a heal from Brightwing. Oh my god!
Interesting dive here, but LGM pops extremely low. I don't know. Rick felt a little uncomfortable there as Genji is trying to secure the kill onto LGM. Mei does zoom past, but Genji is going to try and secure the kill here with an Abathur hat, and it is first blood on the side of the blue team.
Now,
All right, what does the red team need to do to get back into this game?
Well, Tofu, I don't know how you feel, but I love the attempted aggression. It doesn't work out, unfortunately, for them, but I love the foresight to try and do it. Now, they did get lose a kill, but they got an early lead on the camp, but there is another engage!
Another invade by Genji, but Mei is already back. He still secures the kill on Brightwing. This is some fantastic play coming out here from Genji, the confidence.
Oh, no.
Skill. And going into the bush to hearth back, and Mei doesn't spot it.
Oh, no. Oh no, and they chat about it. Well, that was an amazing invade to get another kill. They're trying to just burst them down. Now, keep in mind that the Breakfast Club is still kind of even on experience. They're just a little bit far behind, so it's not like they're taking a huge advantage here. The teams are still quite even. They're just trading SP back and forth, and Neptarmy is showing some aggression.
Yeah, so I think what the red team needs to do is realize that they need to take advantage of the fact that the blue team have fuck all wave clear. Basically, Genji is their only DPS. Rhaegar and Leo have somewhat wave clear, but they're not, damage dealers. Their wave clear is just enough to deal with it. So what the red team, I think, need to do is split and push. As you see a fantastic Anubarak dive, getting a double stun, one after the other. Brightwing using cleanse there to make sure that her teammates stay alive. But I don't know what else because they don't have that much to deal with Genji other than polymorph. They don't have other point and click.
Right,
CC.
they would need to have Irel, but obviously she's usually solo laning. So perhaps later in the team fights she will have some impact.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
But again, Genji is just roaming around, and I love the aggression. She's just going back and forth, trying to chunk them. Doesn't even care if he gets a kill or not. He just wants to try to put some pressure on the map and keep them nervous. I love it.
Do you think Rhaegar's going to go for Bloodlust actually in this game to support the Genji dives? Because Genji can do a lot of work with his auto attacks, as we see a potential dive here coming out from the blue team. Anubarak burrows in, but the camp is only half taken so far.
Yeah, and they seem like they deny this once again. There is a fight coming through, and now it's 4 versus 3. They get a turnaround, and they're still fighting around the point. The Auric is coming through. This 5 versus 4.
Oh, really nice point control.
And Rhaegar is dead.
Team. And they secure the kill on Rhaegar. Fantastically done there by the red team. They are sick of the blue team's bullshit. So they were like, nope, this is our camp and we're not giving it over. And we're even going to take a counter kill. Fantastic knockback there by Love Tiger, predicting where the Genji would land on the other side. And the red team is capitalizing with this camp, pushing mid, while the objectives have just about spawned.
Yeah, and you were trying to ask what they can do. Well, one thing that is a kind of a fault of the Neptarmy's team is that Abathur is a little bit weak early on. If it's a 5v5 team fight, and they gathered as a 5 members, and they said, no, this is our camp, we're taking it. And they capitalized a little bit on it, and but still, the blue team seems to be a little bit have a lead on XP. And they just keep roaming around.
That being said, level 7 power spike for Abathur Mule is being used here. Though I don't know how strong Mule is on Alterac Pass. We shall see. Genji does dive in the meantime into the red team. Pops a little bit low, but I'm sure Abathur will heal him up in no time with a hat. The red team not grabbing the objective just yet. Deep pushing the lanes. Fosted bot lane grabbing that XP.
Yeah, and that's what they have to do now. He's playing very passive because the other team doesn't show, and his instinct is right because there we go again. There's another chunk coming from Genji and Abathur, but he's safe, and he backs off.
Grabbing their siege camp.
Yeah, they've been quite on point. It seems like Neptarmy does not want to invade this time. This should be a safe trade on camps this time, as the rest of the members just seem to be happy to soak the XP and both try to be on time for that level 10, as the objective has been pretty much ignored.
Genji topping the damage stats so far with 15k against Urel's 8k. LGM popping extremely low in an honorable 1v1 with Genji versus Mei. And it turns out Genji wins that 1v1, ladies and gents, if you ever did or didn't know that.
Okay, and now it seems like they're making a play as they have the early level 10, and they're going to engage for a Hanzo. It seems like he used the leap already, and I don't think he can get out. Exactly.
Really nice secured kill on the other brother on the enemy team. The blue team managed to capitalize really well here. You're all trying to interrupt the channel, but it doesn't work out. Rhaegar does secure it. Really nice stun there. Absorb has to be used. Really nice knockback there. But that Genji, despite the fact that the tower dove, is still full HP.
Yeah, and you can see that new change to Irel, that she gets a reset on her trait when she ults, and she just uses it right away to get a stun to disengage the... Oh, and it seems like they captured the camp. Can they keep it?
Leo uses Entomb on Urel, but she jumps over his head. Has to be careful as she goes through Stone's hand. Hanzo hitting a 3-man ultimate, trying to secure a kill on Nubrak. But the Rhaegar ultimate ensures that the Beetle King lives. Urel popping extremely low, but Genji is going to secure the kill with an Abathur hat. Right wing inside the cocoon, and Nubrak trying to peel for the rest of the blue team as Leo Wraith walks out of there.
Yeah, it seems like it's a 1 kill on Irel. The teams are still fighting. Oh, there's a big ult, but it's 1v4. He can't really easily finish that off. But good attempt. I love the constant aggression. Now the red team seems to be responding fairly well, but they still can't seem to hold this up right now.
Yeah, the red team trying to channel the objective, but they do not do so. Hanzo jumps over the wall, dodging Anubrak's stuns there. Very well done. But the objective does go over to Neptarmy. They are going to be able to push, and with Abathur constantly split pushing, they have a whole level of XP ahead.
Yeah, and you see the Abathur's build is just to increase the damage and the mule to try to heal up. Now, I haven't been paying attention if he's been using it effectively or not, but he definitely has some spaces he can. The blue team is playing quite far forward. It's a 3-man push in the middle. That fort is dead for sure. Now, can they take the wall down?
Yeah, they're going to try and take the fort down. Very nice secure in the fort. Urel defending topside against Leo Falstad. Solo D pushing bot will be able to defend this pretty easily without the wall falling down. But the blue team possibly looking for already pressuring the keep in mid.
Yeah, they seem to be playing fairly passive. They're just happy to open some space to do some silly things like having Genji just harass them all the time. And there is an engage, but it's just a harass. Oh,
Really
Irel
nice
top
rally
has to pop
from
the
Mei.
ult on top, and but she's fine.
Mei ultimate tried to snipe some members of the blue team, but oh my goodness, Genji gets a kill on Hanzo in a solo bolo 1v1. Well, it's not really solo bolo, it's cheating because he has an Abathur hat. It's not real solo bolo.
Exactly, and with that actual attack speed increase, Genji does a lot of damage with the auto attacks actually, if he can stick on them, and that's actually quite a big difference. And they will definitely take this fort. It's a 4-man push. Abathur again just soaking, and yeah, they can do that.
Really nice dodges by Urel, avoids the CC chain from Anubrak. The rest of the red team rotating bot side, possibly looking to snipe up a cheeky boss take. I really like this call from the red team. Really well done by them, knowing that the blue team is topside and trying to capitalize on it while they're slightly behind.
Yes, and it seems like the blue team is just happy to trade. I do think they sniffed that out as Falset kind of gave away when he showed himself on the bottom and then sidestepped back, as there was definitely a wave to clear in that lane. So I think both teams are aware of what's happening. They're just happy to trade bosses. But the blue team top lane boss, there is no fort, so they can definitely take the wall. They have an advantage with this push. How will the red team respond?
Yeah, the red team is going to defend, probably the safer shout. But also the problem is if the blue team does manage to defend the bot lane boss, Mew is just going to heal up that fort, and they're not going to get a whole lot of value. But you know what? Whatever they decide to do, they have to stick to it, as they might look for an engage while they have even talents, and they know that Leo is bot side.
Yeah, Rel is trying to flank, but she seems to be like she's going to be engaged. No, she's still fine. She should still have ult. But she does not pop it. Actually, she did not have the ult for that fight.
But a really nice Zed from Brightwing and a nice gust from Falstead keeps Urel from being chunked away. The boss is doing a lot of damage there onto Hanzo. And the other Shimada brother is absolutely shredding roll. Fantastic double stun from Anubarak. And the follow-up from Genji secures a kill onto Hanzo Mei. Snowball doesn't quite connect in an attempt to peel and save her teammate.
Yes, and with the Beatles from Anubarak, if they had gotten more kills, they perhaps could have kept pushing. But at this stage, the red team successfully defends the keep, even though they lost a member.
Blue team is a talent tier up. We do see Earthgrasp Totem, Envenomed Spikes, what an interesting word. Final Cut, Epicenter, and Mithril Mace. Auto attack Leo, by the way, ladies and gents, if anyone loves that Leo auto attack action.
Yeah, starting to stack, and we do see the Mule having some effect on the bottom fort, so long term the map control that they're taking of this map is actually quite strong. It seems like the red team has to take action, they have to have some impact. They're trying to have an arrow, a big arrow, big stun.
Big stun, fantastic follow-up from Mei. Anubarak gets away with the margin of his HP. Genji trying to secure a kill on Falstead, using the Z to keep the Falstead alive. Really well played by the red team. Mei is in a bit of trouble as she was cocooned. Gust into the wall to try and save the rest of the red team. Leo looking for a possible engage. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it seems like none of the team actually get a big advantage there. They're just trading their ultimates and cooldowns. And it seems that both teams are happy to disengage. I mean, I say that, except that no, they don't. Mei wants to get a kill, but it's really hard to kill that Genji.
Yeah, that Genji is slippery, and like you said, without a point-and-click CC, it is very difficult to just smack him in the face. You're looking for an engage here onto the Rhaegar, tries to get past the Anubarak, but the Beetle King doing a lot of work. Genji following up on Love Tiger, Anubarak getting a double stun in the backline. This is a 3v5.
Genji is still chasing Irel, and Irel looks like she's gonna die on the top lane, but she pops her ult, and there is and she gets out. Can she completely get out? Oh yes, the heal comes out, the arrow misses. And ults are burnt again.
So many ultimates used there to keep Urel alive. And she does, however, get away alive. Really nice Zed by Brightwing to save her teammate. But the blue team is going to be able to grab the objective here.
Yeah, it looks like they got the map control. They have had it for a while now. And the red team doesn't seem like they know how to cope with this backline dive here. And the mobile Genji with an Abathur hat.
Ooh, nasty polymorph, but Genji does yeet himself back out to safety.
He looked like he was a little bit too aggressive there. He might have died. He got chunked a bit, but he still got away. Now, if the red team punishes him, it might get them sliding in the opposite direction. But at this stage, they have to defend, and with no forts down, once those cavalry come through the lane, it's going to be a tough defense.
Right, Genji still looking. Mei popping a little bit low, does E herself out to safety. Really nice Brightwing spell shield there to make sure that Mei gets some movement speed to get out.
Yeah, and as they set up for defense, Genji goes in again, alone. And he can just get away from it.
Yeah, again, it's very difficult for the red team to really focus and follow up, because really they only have polymorph to deal with him. It is very difficult for the red team to deal with this.
Oh, and Tomb comes through. There's a big stun, big ultimate from Genji. Everyone is down. There's a disengage, but everyone is dying. And Hanzo is dead, and Genji is popping off.
Genji resets, getting values. Falstad, unfortunately, tries to stay alive in desperate attempt, uses Gust, but it unfortunately isn't fruitful and does fall like a fruit fly.
Now with the almost 2 keeps down, and they might push to end the game here. Once the middle keep is gone, the armor is just not going to be enough. The death armor is 20-30 seconds. That's quite a lot. This might be game.
Yeah, the blue team isn't even bothering with grabbing that mid fort. They are just hitting that core left and right, already popping to half HP. If someone just right-clicks the mid keep, though, it will be easier. I promise, team.
Oh, there is a big entomb, but can they capitalize on it? And they can. And more and more it looks like... Oh, Genji keeps following. They're just focusing that core. That big general. With that arm, it's quite tough to kill, and it looks like the red team is trying, but I don't see how they can get up because they're almost. Genji is even jumping in, and it is good game.
Oof. Really well done. That was a very dominating game from the blue team. Neptarmy performed extremely well, in my opinion, and they should be really proud of their plays. My commiserations to the Breakfast Squad, and honest to God, Breakfast Squad, I wouldn't know how to deal with those two games myself. So please don't feel too bad because, damn, that was a tough 2 game series to deal with.
Yeah, and it was very entertaining. Teams brought some team. Both teams brought some team fight to entertain us, and yeah, it looks like um, the backline dive just prevailed in this case. And no matter how much the Breakfast Squad tried, they just couldn't respond. I feel like they just didn't expect what the blue team brought to the table. They tried their best. They had some potential comebacks, but just the Neptarmy was able to come through and finish 2 games.
Yeah, they did really, really well from early, mid to late. The blue team controlling the game consistently. That Genji pick was a very smart last locking, knowing that the red team didn't really have the tools to deal with them. I can maybe imagine a W build Fosta doing somewhat, but then you'd be opting for a W build Fosta, which is an issue in itself. So I can understand how difficult and tormenting that must have been. If they maybe had Varian for the single target, again, if the Genji is very good, he will never get into Varian's range. So it's so difficult to say what the red team could have done here. It was so difficult to play against that. And honestly, the fact that they didn't lose their morals, the fact that they continued and battled through is, really well done in my eyes anyway.
Yeah, it was very fun, very entertaining. Both teams tried their hard. They definitely did not lose spirit. You saw they kept fighting all the way to the end, no matter what was happening on the map. And kudos to both teams for entertaining us, entertaining you, and
Mm-hmm.
kudos to Neptarmy for the win.
Indeed. All right. Well, that was your very first cast, Perfy or BDJ, Beer DJ, whichever one you prefer to look at it. How do you feel after that cast?
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a lot. Got perhaps a little too excited at a few moments. Maybe I spoke over you, but
No, no, it's
I
okay.
definitely appreciate having a co-caster. I don't think I'd be able to have enough saliva for this evening by myself. Like I need someone else to give me a few moments of silence of my voice to recover and have a sip of water. I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Tofu. And you can
I
watch
think you
more of
did
her
really well.
on her channel, which I do apologize I don't have set up, but I'm sure she'll be happy to share it.
No worries. I'm glad that some of my friends came out to cheer us on. Thanks a million for Heroes Lounge as well for coming out. I think you did really well, and you should really pat yourself on the back because you did extremely well on your debut cast.
Thank you very much. I'm patting myself right now because you cannot. All right. Hoping you guys enjoyed. This was our cast. I guess any final thoughts, any final statements, anything you want to say before we close this stream?
Like I said, thanks a million for all my friends coming out to support me. Really appreciate it. It was really kind of you guys, and I'm really happy to have helped you out on your grand debut. It was an honor.
Yes, thank you very much. As for me, perhaps you'll see more of me, but for now, we're done and have a good evening. Until next time.